Hello, welcome to The Print. I am Amana Begum Ansari, and this week I have written an article that Modi's praise for Sufism has made both his critics and supporters uneasy. So this week, while scrolling through my social media feed between the usual flood of outrage and deafening debates, I came across a video that felt like a breath of fresh air. It was celebration of pluralistic Sufism unfolding in all its grace and depth. For a moment, the usual social media anger and division faded, replaced by the soothing feeling of poetry, music, and heritage that refuses to be erased. It was comforting, almost grounding to see an acknowledgement of India's pluralistic cultural legacy, a reminder of something larger than mere headlines. And what made it even more special was the presence of India's Prime Minister, the Narendra Modi, who addressed the 25th edition of Jahan-e-Khusrau in New Delhi. It was image both significant and complex in the country's current socio-political scenario. The festival drew Sufi musicians who gathered in tribute to the 13th century poet and mystic Amir Khusrau, a figure whose legacy continued to shape the cultural fabric of the subcontinent. Many scholars regard Khusrau, much like Kabir Das, as a father figure of North India's Ganga's Jamuni Tehzeeb, a testament of interwoven thread of faith, language, and artistic expression. Scholars say it was his deep, unwavering love for his homeland that earned him the prestigious title of Tuti-hi-Hind, the parrot of India. His voice spoke of devotion, longing, and belonging in a way few others could, and his influence was far more than just sentiment. Khusrau was a literary innovator, blending Persian and Indian tradition to create a distinct Indo-Persian genre, leaving lasting imprints on the subcontinent's memory. The mystic's brilliance secured his place not only among the greatest poet of his time but also among those rare figures who transcend history, leaving behind a legacy that still breathes through India's cultural consciousness today. Interestingly, PM Modi described the annual music festival honoring Amir Khusrau as carrying the fragrance of the soil of Hindustan. He also recalled how Khusrau once compared the Hindustan with heaven. The invocation of Khusrau was significant, but so was the context in which these words were spoken. In a political landscape where Modi's image has been continuously repeatedly painted as anti-Muslim, every instance where he acknowledges, participate in, or speak positively about any India's Muslim historical figure sparks both attention and skepticism. There are always some underlying questions, like what is the reason behind it? It is a genuine outreach, a strategic gesture, or something else altogether. From his speech, it seems that Modi message is to position Sufism as a bridge between communities, with Amir Khusrau as its flag bearer, a poet whose legacy embodies the pluralistic essence of tradition. And remembering Khusrau in this way comes across as symbolic as it subtly promotes the idea that Sufism is a version of Islam that is more inclusive, rooted in Indian soil, and aligned with the subcontinent's larger cultural ethos. And by emphasizing that Sufi tradition have not only bridged spiritual distances but also fostered connection across nation, Modi seems to be drawing a parallel between Indic culture and Sufism. He presented Sufism as something inherently belonging to India rather than an imported or foreign construct. Whether strategic or sincere, such a narrative aligns with the idea that Sufism, unlike certain other interpretation of Islam is more adaptable to the India civilizational framework and society in general, making it an instrumental tool of interfaith dialogue. In a time when religious identity is a contested space in India, this messaging carries layer of meaning. It can be seen as an attempt to emphasize common ground over division, yet it also raises questions. Can Sufism really be all that? Can it truly serve as the bridge between the communities, the embodiment of pluralism, and the acceptable face of the faith within a national framework? The celebration of Sufism then is not just about culture and history, but also about shaping contemporary narrative of belonging and identity. However, the irony remains that both extreme, Modi's staunchest critics and his most unwavering supporter, find themselves in uneasy position with such a movement. For one side, it presents a contradiction too glaring to reconcile, as nothing about Muslim can in Indian Muslim could be positive. For the other, it is an embrace that does not sit comfortably with their expectation. And so even a celebration of Khusrau become another site of contested narrative where history, politics, and identity collide in a way that are both predictable and revealing. For more such video, keep watching The Print.